Man, I love NXT. Every single week the show is it's the best thing out there. Now, granted, on tonight's show, there was quite a few things I didn't particularly like, but for the most part, it's the most perfect wrestling show you can imagine. So let's get into it. The show opens with your NXT Women's Champion, Tatum Paxley, with the rest of the culling coming down to the ring. Izzy Dame is trying to be a good friend, because Tatum Paxley is upset saying she got distracted, but Izzy Dame lets her down easy, and also says that she should stop just giving championship matches away, to which Tatum Paxley says yeah, she probably should, but she likes spinning the wheel, so she wants to do it again. That causes JC Jane and the rest of Fatal Influence to come out, and they kinda manipulate Tatum Paxley into giving JC Jane a championship opportunity next week. Izzy Dame is not very happy about this, but it happens. Next week, JC Jane versus Tatum Paxley one last time for the NXT Women's Championship, and I'm a bit conflicted. Now, I've said weeks before, I don't want JC Jane to win the championship back, but tonight they've kind of made some developments that every woman of Fatal Influence is gonna have a championship match on Gold Rush. And low-key, honestly, I want to see all of them hold the championship. I would kind of be down to see JC Jane take the belt off of Tatum Paxley, if not just to see the outrage of the IWC. We go backstage with a Vanity Project and Jackson Drake, the Evolve Men's Champion, are in Ava's office thanking her for allowing them to have the opportunity to defend the Evolve Championship on Gold Rush. So this kind of spoils what happens this week on Evolve, because on Evolve we're gonna have a championship match between Jackson Drake and Keanu Carver. But if Jackson Drake is going to defend his championship on Gold Rush, it probably means Keanu Carver loses. So that honestly kinda sucks. He is going to defend the belt against Sean Legacy though. Or maybe they're just throwing us off. Maybe Keanu Carver wins. Kinda wish they just didn't say anything really. It's the Men's Speed Championship next, where Jasper Troy successfully defeats El Grande Americano, and he's the new Speed Champion. I call this, and it's a very good result in my opinion. I think it's the best way to utilize the Speed Championship on NXT currently. Just give it to the big guy who needs to squash a bunch of people. It also fits perfectly with the Speed Championship. I think it benefits the Speed concept and it benefits Jasper Troy. I think it's going to be a really cool run. At worst, you're just going to have a bunch of squash matches. At best, it's going to be a really good reign like Sol Ruca, so I'm quite hyped for it. We also get Thea Hill versus Alba Fire, and man, I'm just so happy to see Thea Hill back getting time. It's been such a long time, you know, between her run with Chase U and now, where she didn't really have anything to do, and this team up with Joe Henry, it feels really fitting. It fits Thea Hill. It feels like the best thing for her, so hopefully this team up with Joe Henry continues. I don't see them winning the championships next week. I feel like it's very much Chelsea Green and Ethan Page's belts, but for Thea Hill to pick up a victory over Alba Fire, that's very good for her, and hopefully it means they just keep using her, because I don't want to see her go back to the bench. I really don't. Sean Legacy is backstage in Ava's office. He's going to challenge for the Evolve Men's Championship at Gold Rush, and he thanks Ava for the opportunity. That's when Sol Ruca enters. Sol Ruca and Sean Legacy wish each other luck before Sol Ruca says that she wants her championship match against Blake Monroe next week. Ava says that if Sol is ready, she is cleared, but it's all on her, and Sol is ready. Zarya is also ready, so next week both Zarya and Sol Ruca will also have a championship match. I honestly don't see either of them walking out with the championship. Like, okay, I want Zarya to win. I think Zarya should win the Women's Speed Championship. It feels like it could open up so many opportunities for a story between Sol and Zarya. I just don't see it happening for whatever reason. I feel like it's probably going to be Fallon Henley, who we're going to get to in a moment, because I don't know, for some reason, I don't think Zarya is gonna win. We go backstage where Tatum Paxley and Ricky Saints, of all people, are talking to each other. A nice fun little reaction. They talk about not knowing who deserves championship opportunities. Tatum is unsure of who to give opportunities to, and Ricky Saints says he understands how she feels, because no way Trick Williams deserves a championship opportunity. That's when the rest of the culling walk up and pull Tatum Paxley away, saying she doesn't need to be talking to these people. And Nico Vance was giving Ricky Saints a death stare. I really don't know what this whole segment was about. I don't, absolutely in no way should Sean Spears or Nico Vance be the next challengers for Ricky Saints, but it just felt like a weird reaction. But I can't talk much, because later in the night we do have an interaction between Trick Williams and Kalani Jordan, which I really enjoyed, because they both are kind of in a Carmelo Hayes orbit, because, you know, Trick and Melo were a team. Kalani Jordan is literally married to Carmelo Hayes. So that's one I actually enjoyed. So I have absolutely no grounds to complain, because maybe someone else enjoyed the Ricky Saints and Tatum Paxley interaction as much as I enjoyed the Kalani Jordan and Trick Williams one. So to each their own. And then Fallon Henley defeats Skylar Ray. Skylar Ray is the former Danny Sikelski, the winner of LFG, and I was really hoping she would actually win this. but she didn't. She gets pinned by Fallon Henley, who, is my pick to win the Women's Speed Championship. Also, really hope all members of Fatal Influence walk out of Gold Rush with a championship, man. It would just be so cool and funny, and I just want to see it. For Skylar Ray, cool first appearance. I hope they utilize her more too. I hope they don't use it like they use Tyra May Steele, who really doesn't do a lot, because I feel like both her and Tyra May Steele have a lot to offer, but they aren't really given that opportunity. Fallon Henley, I'm really happy for. I actually really hope she wins the Speed Championship. Blake Monroe has this really cool segment, absolutely stealing Bayley's gimmick from the main roster and doing it just a million times better. Like, she's talking to this darker side of herself, who is telling her that she needs to let this darkness out against Sol Ruka, because Sol Ruka is better than her. And the Blake Monroe, who is the champion, doesn't believe it. Just go check it out. A really great cinematic little segment. Absolutely fantastic. Blake Monroe has done such an amazing job since she's gotten to NXT. Once she gets to the main roster, man, she's gonna be a star. I don't even think it's long before she's literally the face of NXT, because let's be honest, she's better than a lot of people. We also get a quick little Jordan Grace segment talking about the upcoming match at Gold Rush for the Knockout Championship with Kalani Jordan and Lei Yingli. Just a short little segment. I'm really upset that we didn't get anything between Jordan Grace and Kalani Jordan. I've really been enjoying this feud. The fact that this is all we got kinda sucks, but I'm very excited for this match. Lei Yingli is absolutely just in that match to take a pin, which sucks for TNA because their superstar is the one that's going to be eating the pin. Javon Evans is in the ring now. He has a major announcement to make, but first he calls Leon Slater, who isn't here tonight, asterisk, and he makes the announcement that the two of them will be challenging for Dark State's Tag Team Championships at Gold Rush. That's when Dark State appears, and they tried to jump Javon Evans, but whoa, Leon Slater, he's actually here. I feel like that was really cool. I didn't expect it. I mean, they totally threw me off. And Leon Slater and Javon Evans just run off Dark State. You know what I hate about Dark State? They get constantly overwhelmed. Like, sure, every now and again they'll beat up a few people, but then you'll have Leon Slater and Javon Evans just chasing them off, making them look like chumps. Like, you're four big guys against Javon Evans and Leon Slater. As much as I like them, they're basically twinks. But I feel like it would be cool to see Javon Evans and Leon Slater win those tag team championships. I just don't enjoy Dark State as champions. I just don't enjoy Dark State in general. In concept, they're cool. In execution, they've been horribly fumbled. So low-key, Javon Evans and Leon Slater, I think, would honestly be the best options to be tag team champions right now. I really don't think there's anything better you can do for the tag team division than putting it on like TNA's biggest star besides maybe Santana and on your biggest star. Davion Heights picks up a victory over his rival Josh Briggs, in which is a fine little match. I really don't have a lot to say. I feel like it was a pretty good match. This feud was a whole lot of nothing, but I'm just glad the mid-card is actually getting some development. Davion Heights is cool, Josh Briggs is cool. This feud was just there, honestly. Backstage, Lainey Reed tells the rest of Fatal Influence that she wants Jacy Jayne to win the Women's Championship, she wants Fallon Henley to win the Speed Championship, and she's gonna call her own shot. So later backstage, she attacks Kendall Gray, and seemingly this sets up an Evolve Women's Championship match. In absolutely no way is Lainey Reed going to take that Evolve Women's Championship from Kendall Gray, but still, I'm gonna hope. Like, I'm fully on the agenda of Fatal Influence winning every championship. Like, I want it so badly, and it's not gonna happen. Kendall Gray's being pushed heavily as the woman of Evolve. But man, just let me have this once. And then in the main event, it's a major match. It's a last man standing match for the NXT Championship where Ricky Saints successfully retains against Trick Williams. Both men get busted open, there's blood, it's a brutal matchup, but it was really good, and it's lol, Ricky Saints wins again. I honestly think Trick Williams winning would have been a much more interesting outcome. Again, I'm fully on the bandwagon with Fatal Influence, I'm fully on the Ricky Saints hate train. I don't want to see him as champ. There is nothing I want more than just not having Ricky Saints on NXT right now. I don't feel him. I'm not invested in him. Sorry if this sounds harsh, but come on, just give the belt to Trick. And even worse is that after the match, Obafemi returns. He doesn't come to the ring or anything. He just stands on the ramp to light shine. But he's back, and he's seemingly going after the NXT Championship again. I swear to God. If Obafemi loses to Ricky Saints twice, I'm gonna fucking lose it. That should not happen. If Obafemi just squashes Ricky Saints and takes the NXT Championship back, sure, I'm fine with that. I'd be more than happy with that. Kinda want Obafemi to move on to the main roster. I think he's more than ready for that. But if you're given belt, let him stay on NXT anymore. He'd be a great champ. If Ricky Saints wins, I'm gonna be pissed. That's all I'm saying. And that was NXT for tonight. Honestly, all in all, the show was a 9 out of 10. I feel like the fact that we had 2 speed matches which were relatively short kinda sucked, but the matches themselves were good. And then overall, you know, I didn't like the fact that Obafemi returned, especially in the way that he did. But there's not a lot I can say. You know, Tavion Heights and Josh Briggs was also not underwhelming, but it was just not a match I really cared about. So the only matches that really mattered to me was Thea Hill versus Alba Fire in the main event. The speed matches were fine, but they're not really matches you care about that much. So, you know, a really good show. I think the show was saved by all the segments. And packages, and that really made the show up. So a 9 out of 10 seems like a pretty great rating. So if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I cover NXT, TNA, and Evolve every single week, and every Thursday night I have a podcast with PUWF where we talk about Evolve every single week. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, it's only like an hour long, 2 hours long, so you should tune in. So I hope to see you again soon. Leave a like, subscribe. Goodbye everyone.